To swept hilt or not to swept hilt? That is the question. So recently my name was invoked in a discussion about which is better. Do you go with a swept hilt or do you go with pretty much any other kind of rapier guard that offers you a bit more metal between your hand and your opponent's sword? Well, I'm here to answer that question for you because as it has already been noted,
Rob Child's the #1 rapier fencer in the world, fences with a swept hilt rapier. But are you Rob Child?
yes, I am a fan of the swept hilt because the first time I ever saw one, it spoke to me. It speaks to the elegance of the weapon itself, of the art itself, and the time period in which we used it. However, that is not to say it doesn't require certain skills in order to use it effectively. So fortunately for you, I'm going to help you guys out a little bit and give you a couple of tips on how to effectively use a swept hilt. As you can see here, this is definitely a type of guard that's going to allow the opportunity for someone to shoot through the guard. These tines are anything but a shield, and anybody with a little bit of point control is going to be able to shoot through them if you're going to stand still for them, which is the key. Now, as you'll notice here on this sword, you're going to have these openings here. You've got this hole in the top here by the ring. You've got this opening here, right here as well. You don't want to stand there and just simply point this at your opponent. Don't point your hole at your opponent. It's just rude. If you do that, you're pretty much inviting them to just take a nice, easy, quick, straight shot right into your hand. No, that is absolutely not what you want to do. Whether you are a high guard fencer or a low guard fencer like myself, the key to that is to make sure that the opening of your guard is not pointed directly at your opponent's weapon. That makes for the easiest shot for them to be able to take that hand away. Instead, you point it somewhere else. Now, like myself, I'm a low guard fencer and I always have mine aiming in a downward direction. From here, you cannot get a straight shot into my hand unless you're going to try and thread your way through there. And in that, there's also another technique that I employ in order to keep people from being able to shoot through the rings on the guard. Now, as always, measure is going to be a key player in whether or not you're going to get hit or not. But since we're talking about how we use the sword specifically, if my opponent was to try and shoot through the rings, they're going to have an added difficulty by virtue of the fact that every time I parry with this sword, I am moving it and twisting my wrist. Now, what this does is it takes the rings of my guard, the entire metal architecture of this guard, and it turns it into a kind of twisting blender that makes it incredibly difficult for anybody to get anything through there. More often than not, you're going to end up pinching the guard at worst, if not outright deflecting it to the outside. This is obviously not all you need to know about effectively using a swept hilt, but these two pieces of information will definitely get you well on your way to taking fewer shots to your hand while you do so.